The sun was setting over Los Angeles when Keanu Reeves's Ferrari broke down near a small, forgotten auto shop. The expensive red car made strange noises before stopping completely. Keanu only expected a quick repair, but he found something much more meaningful inside. In the small garage, working alone under flickering fluorescent lights, was Henry Carter, a 72-year-old mechanic with tired hands and quiet determination. His shop wasn't fancy, just a simple place that had survived for decades while bigger, fancier repair shops had come and gone. People trusted Henry because he fixed things right, not because he had the newest tools or the flashiest building. When Keanu walked in, Henry didn't recognize the famous actor. To him, Keanu was just another customer with a fancy car. "Evening. Think you could take a look?" Keanu asked politely. Henry eyed the Ferrari with little interest. "Too much luxury for my taste," he muttered, but he grabbed his toolbox anyway and popped open the hood. As Henry worked on the engine, his skilled hands quickly found the problem. Keanu watched with genuine interest, asking questions about the shop. "You work alone?" he asked. "Always have," Henry replied in his gruff voice. "These days no one wants to actually fix things. They just swap out parts and charge a fortune." While working, Henry felt a sharp pain in his chest but ignored it. He had a job to finish. After fixing the car, Henry refused payment. "Seeing a car run right is enough for me," he said. Keanu was surprised but respected the mechanic's pride. As he drove away, Keanu couldn't stop thinking about Henry. There was something special about the old mechanic's honesty and dedication. At home, Keanu searched online for information about Henry's shop. He found an outdated website for Carter's Auto Repair, honest work since 1974, and forum posts from grateful customers. One person wrote about how Henry fixed their car for free when they were broke. Another mentioned how Henry stayed late to fix their truck so they could make it to their night shift. A third person shared how Henry had repaired their father's old Chevy so they could drive it to his funeral. Keanu realized Henry wasn't just a mechanic, he was an important part of his community. Just as Keanu was planning to visit Henry again, his phone rang. It was Bill, who owned the laundromat across from Henry's shop. "Henry's in the hospital," Bill said. Keanu immediately grabbed his keys and headed to Henry's shop. There, taped to the door, was a note reading "closed indefinitely." Bill explained that Henry had collapsed while working a few days ago and was at County General Hospital. At the hospital, Keanu found Henry looking pale and weak, connected to an IV and heart monitor. Even in this condition, Henry's first words were, "Damn, don't tell me your car broke down again." Keanu smiled, relieved that Henry's spirit was still strong. When asked about his condition, Henry explained with his usual straightforward manner, "Doctors say I got a heart that doesn't like listening to me anymore. Kind of like a busted engine, but I can't swap it out." Keanu offered to pay Henry's medical bills, but the proud mechanic refused. "I don't take handouts, kid," he said firmly. Keanu understood that Henry had spent his entire life standing on his own 2 feet and wouldn't change now. So instead, Keanu asked a different question. "You built something, Henry, and you're just going to let it die? What happens to your shop, your work, the people you've helped when you're not there anymore?" This question made Henry think. The idea of his life's work simply disappearing clearly bothered him. Seeing an opening, Keanu said, "I have an idea." Henry narrowed his eyes suspiciously, but he was willing to listen. Over the next few weeks, once Henry was well enough to leave the hospital, Keanu helped transform the shop. The old Carter's Auto Repair sign came down, and a new one took its place. The Henry Carter Technical Garage since 1974, with the tagline, "Because some things deserve to be done right." Henry complained about the name at first. "I don't need my name on a damn building." But Keanu simply replied, "It's not just a building, it's a story." That shut Henry up. The shop would now be a place where Henry could teach young mechanics the right way to fix cars. When it reopened, the turnout was bigger than anyone expected. Former customers came to show support. Young mechanics arrived hoping to learn from a master. Even kids who had never touched an engine before showed up, curious about cars. Henry, gruff as ever, barked orders at his new students. When a nervous 19-year-old held a wrench incorrectly, Henry shouted, "If you're going to fix a car, at least hold the damn tool like you mean it." The terrified young man adjusted his grip and tried again. From the sidelines, Keanu smiled. Henry would never change his tough ways. But that toughness was exactly what made him such a good teacher. That evening, as Henry locked up the shop, he turned to Keanu with rare sincerity in his voice. "Guess I owe you one, kid," he said quietly. Keanu shook his head. "Nah, you already paid me back." When Henry asked how, Keanu gestured toward the shop. "By proving that the right way is still worth teaching." Henry looked up at his new sign, the lights illuminating his name. For the first time in a long time, he felt truly proud. His heart might be failing, but his legacy would continue. Life had thrown him a serious challenge with his health problems, but thanks to a chance meeting with Keanu Reeves, his story wasn't over. His knowledge, his dedication to doing things right, it would live on through everyone he taught. Standing there under the stars, Henry realized something important. Some legacies aren't built with money or fame, but with honest work and the willingness to share what you know with others. And sometimes help comes from the most unexpected places, even from a Hollywood actor in a broken-down Ferrari.